before we get into this one, we got to send a very special shout out. We did our first annual No Hedging Football League, Fantasy Football League, and the champion was you playing for second.
Clearly we did.
My boy came out talking trash from the jump, and he didn't lie. He won the championship. Congratulations to you, guy. You, my guy. I hope you enjoy the cash that you should have been in my pocket. But
sucks.
I met the criteria, but I wasn't selected. So I hope you enjoy. Very special shout out to you. You came through. You won a bunch of games. You won a bunch of matchups. You made timely victories. And, hey, you beat some top dogs. So I can't be mad at you too tough.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, my guy. You did it. Now let's get into this episode. What's good, everybody?
Yo, what's good?
Back again with another episode of the No Hedging Podcast. I go by the name of Rip16 the GOAT. And you are
Ty the Fly Jet, man. You know who I am.
This guy's my co-host right here, and we are the mighty No Hedging Podcast duo, man.
That's right.
We are back again for this episode to get into the final week of the NFL
regular
season.
Yep.
Man.
It's the finale.
But in the week before the final week, how did you do?
I did great, man. 12-4 on my picks and predictions, man. 12-4.
Very nice.
With exception to a few upsets that shouldn't happen, like Seattle and
was that really an upset?
And Arizona and Philly.
And that was an upset.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about Seattle being an upset. Not really.
I mean, they were favored by 3.5 points. That's an upset.
That's not that big of an upset. But I went 10-6. Still had a solid week myself. Which brings us to a grand total. You are at 171-85, and I am at 152-104.
I know how to pick them.
So very solid. At this point, we've locked positive records for the season. But we still got one more.
One more week to go. Crazy week. This is the wildest week so far. Outside of week 1, week 18 is just as nuts.
Yeah, it's still nuts because it's a lot of teams. You know, we're going to try to keep y'all abreast of that as we talk about these picks as we get into it, man.
Who's playing, who's not, who's in, who's out.
Who's sitting, who's likely resting people. We're going to try and give y'all all of that, you know, because we like to show y'all love. And we just ask that y'all show it back by like, share, commenting, and subscribing. That's all we want y'all to do.
That's all you got
to
do.
Share those slips too, bro.
Press a couple buttons. That's
Share
it.
the slips too, bro.
Bing, bing.
Like, I mean,
Hit
are you the bookie?
button.
Are you the sports book right now? Share. Sharing is caring, bro. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into
the rundown.
All right, man. First game on the slate.
Who we got? What we got?
We have, well, first of all, no more TNF.
Yeah, no more Thursday night football. Hate it.
It was a good run. It was a good run, very good season.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have something for y'all on good old Saturday. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers are a 3.5-point favorite in this one on the road against the fire-hot and dominant Ravens. However, as we just told y'all, the Ravens really have nothing to play for in this game.
Nope,
They're locked in. They number one. What did you say Lamar's MVP thing was? Minus 20,000?
20,000.
If that shit don't cash, I don't know what can cash. That's a lot.
Minus 20,000.
So with all that being said, pretty much the Ravens don't really have much to play for. They got a couple players that are playing for incentives, like OBJ. Just found out he could still get some incentives by having 2 touchdowns, or if he has 5 receptions. So it's a couple of incentives that some guys can get. Jadeveon Clowney can get an incentive if he gets half a sack. like $750K or something. So it's some player incentives that motivate a couple guys, and hopefully the coaches, get them the shot to go out there and make their money. But other than that, the Ravens really don't have that much to play for. So that explains the line on this game. So what say you in this one?
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh gets the dub, obviously, with all of those things you mentioned. Harbaugh hasn't confirmed or denied if Lamar's going to play yet.
Right.
But I do see them sitting starters at some point throughout the game if they do decide to go. I do believe that they should play at least a series or two, maybe a quarter, because you don't want them to play, if he doesn't play at all, then that's 2 weeks of him sitting without playing any football. You know what I'm saying? They have the first round bye as well. And when Jalen Hurts did that last year, he started off kind of slow. So, but nevertheless, that's beside the point. I think Pittsburgh going to get the W here. They have more to play for. They're trying to lock in their playoff spot as well. So I think they get the dub here and get that. Like I've been saying, a couple weeks back, I do think Pittsburgh finds their way into the playoffs, and this win right here will help them get that. So
yeah, and they got multiple scenarios which can get them in. I think if they win and Buffalo loses, if they win and Jacksonville loses or ties, Houston and Indy ties if they win. Now, if they get a tie, then they need Jacksonville loss, Houston and Indy to not end in a tie. They got some weird scenarios: a Denver win, a Jacksonville loss. They playing all types of card games over there. But it's a lot of scenarios for them to get in there, and the main factor in there is if they win, and then it's a couple other losses which can still catapult them into a wild card spot. So I expect Pittsburgh to come out and do their part. Tomlin's like, we don't have control over the rest of that, so we're gonna win.
Yeah, and they've been playing very well. They went to Seattle, and they played very well on the road in Seattle, a hard place to play against the 12th man.
They played a game or two very well.
Mason Rudolph, you know what I'm saying? He gets the ball to George Pickens, and if that's your best weapon offensively on the team, so you get him to rock, and then they've been running it very well too with Najee Harris and Jalen Warren as well. So with that combination, I think they come out, they compete against Baltimore. Hell, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they do give the Ravens some fits here and there as well, and it's a divisional game, so they know each other very well. So I think Pittsburgh got the dub.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh gets the dub also. So I'm gonna roll with you on that one. 3.5, we'll see. They probably can cover that though. Next game on the slate, also on Saturday, we have another division game, the Houston Texans. Matter of fact, I think the whole slate is division games, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of them, yeah.
But the Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts.
This is a good one.
This is a real goodie.
Yeah.
A lot of people going to be watching this game, including NFL teams, because this game determines a lot of their playoff hopes.
Yeah.
The Texans are 1.5 point favorite on the road playing against the Colts. Now, for this one in particular, it's very tough to call because the Texans have been kind of up and down. They got hit with the injury bug some, and, going into a division game makes it a little difficult. They got CJ back. They got a couple guys playing for some incentives out there, like Dalton Schultz. He needs like 4 or 5 receptions in this game or something to get a bonus. And plus a playoff spot. Let's not forget that. So both of these teams 9-7.
Yeah. If Jacksonville loses, the winner of this game is going to win the division if Jacksonville loses. So it's a very important game for both teams, for sure.
Right.
Must win for both teams if they want to find themselves in the playoffs.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes into overtime. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what the bet odds are on that, but that might be something I would sneak in there. But for me personally, I'm going to roll with the Colts on this game. Just because a division game that means so much, I feel like the home team has the best advantage in this game, and the Colts have been fighting all season. From game one. From week 1 to week 18, they've been fighting. And, they got Pittman back last week. They make plays happen, man, and when they get everybody out there on the field, they look like a very good football team, and they always gonna fight regardless. So, win, lose, or draw, I do see them putting up a good fight. So I'm gonna roll with the Colts on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Colts too. I like how they played last week. They dominated, played very well. I didn't expect CJ to play as well as he did I didn't expect him to win last week either, but I just think being the home team in this situation with your receiver, Pittman coming back, like you said, they're healthy. Mm-hmm. They got a run game as well going. Don't get it twisted. Houston is going to be very competitive.
That's still CJ Stroud.
It's going to be very competitive, and their defense has been playing with their freaking heads on fire, turning the football over, causing havoc back there in the backfield. Will Anderson is playing lights out. But I do think Houston in this spot, still new coach, new head coach, rookie quarterback, all those factors. Just the Colts. I think the Colts at home is just the better side to be on in this matchup right here, unfortunately. But I do like Houston, but I think the Colts end up, making something happen to get the dub.
Now, it's funny that I mentioned that overtime scenario because if they just so happen to tie and Jacksonville loses, I think they end up.
They both go.
They both
go.
Jacksonville ends up out. So, very interesting scenario. There's a lot of other teams depending on a Houston-Indianapolis tie, so that could just shake up a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. But I never really bet on a tie, or overtime, but that's for some reason it's sizzling in my spirit. Mm-hmm. Next game on the slate, getting into that Sunday football. We have the Dirty Birds versus the Dirty Saints. Atlanta Falcons going to New Orleans, and the Saints are a 3-point favorite in this game at home. Well, the Saints are at home. And they are favored by 3. Very interesting because there's like a sliver of a way for the Falcons to get into the playoffs. Not very likely, but it's a sliver. And the Saints really just need to win in order to, they still don't secure it. Tampa Bay still has to lose.
They need help.
Tampa Bay has to lose in order for either of these teams in a rare situation to be able to win the division, but not necessarily be a wild card spot. So what say you about that?
Yeah, I mean, the Saints, they went on the road. They beat Tampa on the road convincingly. Obviously, they lost to Atlanta early on in the season in Atlanta. I think that stadium, the Superdome, is going to be buzzing. It's the last game of the season. It's a divisional game as well.
It's a huge game.
Big game, massive game. I'm always going to be a stickler on, Atlanta can't win on the road. They don't play as good on the road as they've shown this past week and all season, really. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Saints to win. I think it'll be close. I'm going to take the Saints to win. Atlanta's going to give them everything they need. They're going to give them a fight. They're going to give them a fight. So I'm going to take the Saints, man, at home, man.
They got to sell out in this game. Got to go with the home team. I'm going to go ahead and take the Falcons in this game. I know. Mm-hmm. They don't play very well on the road.
They don't.
Right? But the upside is they still in a Mercedes Dome. Mm-hmm. So that helps them, even though the environment is going to be extremely hostile.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of clowns
it's a lot of Falcons fans traveling to New Orleans for this game as well. So don't get it twisted. It's going to be a lot of Dirty Birds rising up inside of that Superdome down there. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be a great one to watch. I expect it to be high intensity in that game.
Juwan Johnson been turning up for New Orleans too.
Yeah. They had a couple guys, out there making some plays, and the defense was humming against the Buccaneers for the vast majority of that game. But we're gonna see, man. It's gonna be a tough matchup. Like I said, both of them really need Tampa Bay to lose in order for them to have the division title, but the winner of this game still has a shot at a wild card spot. Even if Tampa Bay wins, they just kind of need some more help for that wild card spot. But regardless, what you have control over is this game. So I think they give it all they got. I don't even think the Falcons can't make a wild card spot. So the Falcons need this in a Tampa Bay loss. That's the only way. They win the division or they not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Saints still got a wild card shot, so we'll see.
See ya.
Next game on the slate, we have the Cleveland Brownies versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals are a 6.5-point favorite in this game. And the Browns are a road dog. Now, this game, on the other hand, is not really much to play for in this particular juncture. Nope. The Browns are locked in their spot, in the playoff spot. So I expect them to rest some starters out there.
Yep.
I don't expect them to have a whole lot of activity on the field, so I completely understand why the Bengals are a 6.5-point favorite. The Bengals are eliminated from playoff contention, so at this point they're just playing because it's a division game and pride. I don't know if they have some guys on the Bengals who need any incentives to play for. I didn't really hear anything about them, but I'm pretty sure there's some guys out there playing for something. So with that being said, I'll take the Bengals at home in this game. Just because I don't think a lot of the Browns players are going to play or really have a reason to play.
Yeah, I mean, Bengals, they got beat last week, right? Didn't they lose last week?
Yeah, they lost to Kansas City.
Yeah, they lost to Kansas City. So they're going to come back home. They're going to try to cap off the season with a victory. They didn't play very bad against Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Kansas City had to kick 6 field goals. That's 18 points.
Yeah.
The score was like 27 to something, right? So
Jake Browning has played well.
Yeah, Jake Browning was moving around.
He was
looking like Burrow 2.0 out there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Slinging the rock. So, yeah, I think Cincinnati, they win this game here at home. Like you mentioned, the Browns, they resting people. They getting ready for the playoffs. They chilling. I think they compete in the beginning because they do have quarterbacks that's been playing throughout the season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
PJ Walker.
Every quarterback they ever had has played this season.
PJ Walker and whatnot. So I think it's going to be a competitive game, but I do think the Bengals end up getting the win at the end of the day. The Bengals.
Who they? Yeah, so next game on the slate, we have another very interesting one. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
Are 5-point favorites on the road against the Tennessee. Why do I always want to say Tennessee? I don't know why I want to say that all the time. Tennessee Titans. The Titans, 5-point home dog in this game?
Yes, they are.
I don't know, dog. That's a good amount of points.
It's a lot of points for Tennessee.
And the Titans been out here just trying to ruin people's day for no reason.
And they at home with it.
And they at home capping off the season. Division game? I don't know. What say you?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jacksonville, they found a little confidence playing the Carolina Panthers last week. Yeah, Carolina couldn't do nothing.
Bang bang.
Carolina ain't do nothing. That, like we talked about, that was the time for them to bring it back because for a month and a half, damn near they were losing.
Right.
Now the Titans team, they're not gonna just allow the Jacksonville Jaguars to come in there and dominate like they did against the Carolina Panthers. Will Levis did get banged up a little bit, and that was with C.J. Beathard that the Jags won with. So I'm expecting Trevor Lawrence to come back because this is a must-win game for Jacksonville. Jacksonville doesn't win this game, they don't lock up the division, and they need to lock up the division. So I'm gonna say this: with all the marbles on the table, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game. Now, the spread is a little bit too high, in my opinion, for them to be on the road, but I think they figure it out and win this game on the road to lock up the division.
Oh, D-Hop has some incentives to play for, too. He has to get like 50 yards receiving, and he has to get some touchdowns or receptions. I can't remember which one it is, but D-Hop has some incentives to play for. So he could come out and try to have a big game. definitely probably gonna see a lot of targets. So the Titans do have something just to shoot for in a division game, but like you said, I think the Jaguars have more to play for in terms of playoff spot. If they win this game, they clinch the division. And
then the Titans just got beat last week, so they come with a little chip on their shoulders. Then the Colts take them out. I think so. Yeah. So they come with a little chip on their. Yeah, they're gonna come with a chip on their shoulder.
It's not gonna be easy though. It's not gonna be easy.
You said Jacksonville.
I'm taking Jacksonville to win the game, but it's not gonna be easy. I don't like that 5. Next game on the slate, we have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Detroit Lions. The Lions are a 3-point favorite at home in this game. Now, the Lions, interestingly, they don't have a whole lot to play for, but they can solidify a position in terms of where they sit in seeding. Yeah. But it's not going to change much for them. So the Lions, what are we kind of expecting as far as playing time goes with them? Are you looking at like partial here?
Yeah, I think Campbell, he gonna let them play a little bit. I think they might play a half or something like that.
Campbell was pissed after the Lions game.
Yeah,
so, I mean after the Cowboys game.
Yeah, I think he lets them play a little bit. Honestly, I still think the Lions will win this game. I mean, the Vikings actually. No, I think the Vikings will win the game. If the Lions are not playing a full game, which we don't know yet, I'm going to assume that they don't play a full game. But what I saw is the Lions still has a weakness in that secondary. You can still throw on the Lions.
In the whole season.
And as long as O'Connell starts Nick Mullins, then they have a shot. If they don't start Nick Mullins, if they don't start Nick Mullins, they don't have a shot. Nick Mullins is going to throw the ball down the field to Justin Jefferson, whoever's down there. He don't care who's down there. If you wearing a purple jersey, he throwing you the rock. You know what I'm saying?
Gunslinger, he's going to throw that.
He threw 400-some yards against a couple weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
He's a gunslinger. The boy like to throw it down the field. I seen that.
So I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to take the Vikings. I'm taking the Vikings.
And that's what I was about to say. You hit the nail on the head. Basically, it's a contingent pick.
Yeah, very contingent. It's a lot of contingencies. On both sides.
If Nick Mullins starts, I'm going to take the Vikings to win that game because he's going to throw the ball downfield, and it's a good team to throw the ball downfield on. If there's ever a team where your quarterback can't really read a defense, it's okay because the Detroit Lions secondary is basically not there anyway. So
you see, CeeDee Lamb went for 226 on him last week.
227 and 2 touchdowns. He had 13 receptions. Okay.
What do you think Jay Jetta's going to do?
Exactly. He's about to go off. He might get all of his season incentives in this one game. So I'm gonna take the Vikings to win the game, pending Nick Mullins. But after we saw Jared Hall last week, why wouldn't you put Nick Mullins in?
Right.
Don't know why you didn't put him in anyway, but I guess. Next game on the slate, we have the New York Jets versus the New England Patriots. The Patriots are a 2.5-point favorite at home in this game. I mean, this game doesn't really mean anything for either squad. It's just a game just for the sake of a division game. Mm-hmm. Going out here just play some football.
Yeah.
One more time. I mean, the Patriots have quietly been putting it together a little bit better.
They've been playing better. Yeah, they've been
over
playing
the past
better.
few weeks. I know all season I've called them a dumpster fire. I get it. I know.
But
they were a dumpster fire in fairness, but they started playing better, and maybe they put a little bit of water on the fire. Maybe they're a dumpster simmer now. I'm gonna take the Patriots to win the game. Just because they're at home is hard, and the Jets offense still struggles to score points. Yeah. In a lot of cases, even though I will give them some credit when they played against the Browns on the last Thursday night football game, they were offensively moving the ball a lot better than I expected.
Because they used Breece Hall a lot. Yeah,
they used Breece. Yeah. When you use Breece, you win games. I don't know why that's so hard.
They probably would have won 5 more games if they used Breece.
Breece Hall.
And we'd have been talking about playoffs here.
Right. But unfortunately, they didn't. But I think the Patriots defense is not about to have that run shit on them.
Nah, yeah, I agree. I think the Patriots get this win. They at home. Bailey Zappi has been playing pretty decent. He hasn't been a turnover machine like McEnroe Jones. I think the Jets, they pretty much, I think they lay it down.
Turnovers against the Bills.
Yeah, there's a lot of turnovers.
A lot of turnovers against the Bills.
With the exception of that, I was thinking about Denver in like the first half. Yeah, it was nuts. It's nuts. Yeah. I think they cleaned that up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take New England at home. The Jets offense is so inconsistent, man. I can't see them moving the football, man.
The quarterbacks is all over the place.
Yeah, so I'm taking New England, man. I agree.
Yeah.
Nothing else to be said about that.
Next game on the slate, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers holding a lot of people's fate in their hands like infinity stones.
Yep.
They are a 5.5-point favorite in this game against the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Panthers are at home. They have had nothing to play for in a long time.
Yeah.
They were probably the first team eliminated.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Their first round pick is going to the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about really nothing to play for at all,
pride is it.
So really, if they're coming out here to beat the Buccaneers, they are strictly just trying to get another win on the column and strictly do it for pride. And maybe some guys are out there trying to show what they can do or prove their value or try to get some contracts. I don't know. Now, Tampa Bay needs this to win the division. So, for that reason, and given the terrible performance they just had against the New Orleans Saints, I think they come out and play better. This is a terrible defense to have to come out and try to play better against. I will say that. But Jacksonville Jaguars pulled it off when they needed a win bad. So I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can do it here. If they lose, I would love it. Because it would put the Falcons or the Saints in a good spot.
I concur.
I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I think Tampa Bay comes out here. They win by at least 10 points. The Panthers, man, they've been playing like trash. They screwed me. Yeah, the offense can't move the ball, man. They just can't. They can't score points. They just cannot score points. Obviously, must needed win. I think you hit the nail on the head with everything in regards to Tampa. So I'm on your side here. Tampa Bay, they get the win.
Unfortunately, I just think it just happens, man.
It's just set up so nicely for them to win the division.
It's set up very nice for them to win the division in this spot. So, I mean, if they lose here, they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Next game on the slate, getting into those 4:00 games, we have the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are 3-point favorites at home in this game. Now, what say you about that?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chicago on this one, man. Even though Green Bay's been playing decent, they do have some injuries to their wide receiver core. You know, Jalen Reed, he got hurt. Christian Watson, a little hamstring. They've been playing well. Obviously, Aaron Jones is back. He's healthy. That helps them out, a lot. Jordan Love been playing phenomenal. Defense been playing good as well. I just think, Chicago has a good defense to kind of spoil that, especially with the limitations in there with the receiving core. If the Chicago Bears can stop the run, which they are pretty good at slowing down that run game, I think they give themselves a shot to win the game. And Justin Fields been playing pretty damn good over the past couple of weeks. So with that, I'm going with Chicago.
Ooh, tough.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a situation. I mean, Green Bay has like 6 scenarios where they can get in the playoffs, even a few of them where they could still not win the game and get in. But win and get in is the very simple one. And even on the road, I mean, even if it was on the road or at home, I could understand that. So, but keeping it simple, if you win, you get in. And I think they've been playing well enough. Jordan Love got an incentive to get like $500,000 or something by making the playoffs and making more money. So, I mean, your quarterback's coming out motivated. He got something to play for. You win, your team gets in the playoffs. And I think that's a very simple scenario. So, I'm going to go with the Packers in this.
Especially in Green Bay.
In Green Bay, it's hard to win in Lambeau. But it might be a fight just because people want to fight in the division. Next game on the slate, we have the Dallas Cowboys versus the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are a 13-point home dog, okay? The Cowboys still got a little bit to play for.
Yeah, they're trying to get that division locked up. They want that division title.
They trying to lock it up. They trying to win this
trying
division.
To steal it from Philly.
Trying to steal from Phil. Philly really giving them the title. Yeah. All these L's, they done had what? 5 out of their last 6 they lost or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Because they won like 9 straight to start off. I don't think they start losing until like week 10. So it's ugly, man. They trying to hand it to Dallas. The refs trying to hand it to Dallas. A lot of people trying to make sure Dallas get in there. CeeDee Lamb, the only person I can really honestly go out there and say trying to take that. Like, he been doing his part. But, hey, I think Dallas wins the game for sure. 13 points is a fuck ton of points.
It's a lot.
It's a fuck ton. In a division game, especially because Washington do battle with them.
They fight.
They like to fight. They do like to fight, but I think
they put up a little fight in Thanksgiving for a minute, and then they dominated them after a while.
Yeah, they did. I think it's pretty much kind of similar. I think they come out and they score or they put up a fight, but I think it's just going to be too much after a while. It's going to overwhelm them. And then if all else fails, Dallas can always call in the stripes to help them.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think Dallas gets the win, obviously. But I do think that's a lot of points. Dallas is on the road. They're playing in Washington. And there's this theory, Dallas on grass is not a good team. Dallas, outside is not a good team. It's just what the numbers show. It's the trend. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the stats and look at the numbers and look at the trend, when they play on grass, when they play on grass, they don't play as fast. When they play on grass, they don't play as good. And this is another situation. Washington,
their ass is grass.
Their ass is grass on grass. So, but nevertheless, I do think they're a better team. Obviously, I think Washington is going to give them their best shot. Washington's downfall is they can't guard anything. So, CeeDee Lamb, I expect him to have another good game because that secondary is not good at all. So, I'm taking Dallas on this one.
Okay, I'm with you. No arguments for me on that. Next game on the slate. Oh, I think CeeDee might have an incentive if he didn't hit it already. There's somebody else on there like some receiving incentives. Next game on the slate, we have the Denver Broncos versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders
are a 2.5 point favorite in this game at home. Now, with them doing that whole quarterback situation with Russell Wilson, they got Stidham out there. He passed down the field, and he was able to make enough happen to win the game 16-9 against the Chargers in the Eastern Stick, and no Keenan Allen. I don't see him moving the ball like that against no Raiders defense. They not having it, regardless of playoff spot or not. Whatever they situation.
They're not fully eliminated either.
They're not fully eliminated, so they're gonna try and go out and win this game. But the Raiders just like to fight, and it's a division game, and they're not about to fold that easy. So I'm going to take the Raiders in this spot because that quarterback situation over there in Denver after they did what they did to Russell Wilson, I don't see them winning against the Raiders.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Raiders here. I think that defense is going to turn up. The only issue that I have with the Raiders is Aiden O'Connell sometimes, but I mean, they like them. I think the Raiders out here, they playing very emotionally because they want to win for Antonio Pierce to get that head coaching job. So I think they playing with that. If they're not obviously not the playoffs, right, a solidified playoff spot, but they playing for that, right? So I think
the Raiders are eliminated.
They're eliminated.
So they're really playing for that.
Okay, so Well, I think the Raiders win still. I think they have all the pieces. They've been running the football very well. That's what they want to do. Devontae Adams they've been having a little connection down the field as well. So I think the Raiders play way better now than they have been before the head coaching change. But the Broncos, on the flip side of that, their defense hasn't been turning the ball over like they were middle of the season. That Russell Wilson thing into play. Even when they played against the Chargers, they only put up 16 points, 19 points, something crazy like that. So they weren't even able to move the football with Jarrett Stidham that much to get in the end zone. So
and that's not a good defense.
Right, and that's not a good defense. You're supposed to put up 40 on that defense,
Secondary anyway.
Right, so I'm going to take the Raiders, man. I'm with you on that.
Okay.
LV. The Raiders.
The Raiders. Going into the same division, we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are a 3-point favorite in this game, and that is because the Chiefs have nothing to play for.
They're not playing anybody.
So they're probably going to rest up. They probably need to rest. They've been a little banged up too. I guess you go with the Chargers in this spot to win the game, I guess.
I don't even know how I can do that.
But I don't know.
I don't know how I can do that.
I still don't know. Chris Jones got an incentive to get like a half a sack or 0.25 sacks.
I'm going to tell you like this. I'm going to take the Chiefs, bro.
You like the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs. I don't like the Chargers as a favorite ever. So I'm going to take the Chiefs, man.
That's fair.
I'm going to take the Chiefs. I think, even though they got their playoff spot solidified, I don't think they're going to just lay an egg against the Chargers, right? I think they're going to be somewhat competitive. I think that defense, they're going to lean on that a little bit as well. And to be completely honest, the Chiefs don't need to rest nobody. They need to figure that offense ain't that good. They need the reps. They need the reps. Especially with those receivers.
Kelsey?
Well, the receivers primarily. You know what I'm saying? They need the reps. You know what I'm saying? Because if they go into playoffs playing the same way they've been playing for the past 6 weeks, that ain't going to get nothing done. So they need the reps. I don't think they need to rest. They might not rest Patrick Mahomes and them like that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Chiefs.
They might not rest Mahomes
I'm gonna take the
whole
Chiefs.
game, maybe, but I don't know.
The Chiefs.
I'm not mad at you picking the Chiefs. I mean, the Chargers as a favorite is just not a good history.
Let me lock that in.
He said, let me lock that in now. Next game on the slate.
You said the Chargers, right?
Yeah. Next game on the slate, we have the Los Angeles Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are a 3.5-point favorite in this game at home. Now, they've secured their number one spot. They don't have anything to play for. Maybe it's a couple guys who had recent injuries or somebody who might be questionable. They might just go ahead and rest them and sit them out of this game. But the Rams also don't really have much to play for. They could kind of change their spot or seating just a little bit, but it's not going to change much for them. In all due honesty, if I was going to do anything with this game, I'd fade it. But
you got to pick them.
But since we like to pick over here for no reason,
who you got?
The Rams got more to play for than the 49ers. So I'm going to take the Rams. I'm not super 100 secure in that pick because Sean McVay could rest his people too, which is probably likely to happen. Who's coming in after? The 49ers are still a pretty complete team from top to bottom, so I might need to reconsider that. I don't know. 49ers maybe?
What you doing,
49ers maybe? I guess 49ers, actually.
You guess 49ers?
I'll take 49ers, actually.
Why?
I don't like this game. The 49ers are just a better team.
You got to say why.
But the reason why I'll say that is because when all the injuries happened to the Rams and they didn't have their stars in, I seen how trash they played. I also seen the 49ers lose some games when they lost a couple guys on offense, so they was looking kind of banged up. But I still think they were a more complete team than the Rams. So judging how bad they played with starter injuries, I'm going to say the Rams play worse than the 49ers, and the 49ers are at home. So I'll give them that advantage. But that's the only reason.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Niners too, bro. I think the Niners been cooking the Rams like the last 3-4 times that they played each other. So I'm going to take the 49ers, whether they play their starters or not. I think they're going to play them. Key note, though, Chris McCaffrey's not playing this weekend.
He shouldn't play anyway.
He's not playing. But even still, they still have good running backs behind him.
Yeah, they got Elijah Mitchell.
So I'm going to take the 49ers. I'm hesitant, just like you are, about taking that play. But
if you're a smart person, you fade this game.
Yeah, just fade it in general. Or take the Rams.
But if you're going to take some, I'll definitely take the Rams.
I'm just taking the 49ers for their home team, to be honest with you.
Exactly. Next game on the slate, we have the Philadelphia Struggle Eagles versus the New York Football Giants.
Just played 2 weeks ago.
And it was a close one.
Yep.
They escaped 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
The Giants are at home in this game. Philly wins. They win the division. But the Giants don't care nothing about that.
Don't give two dams.
What say you?
I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles, man. They owned the Giants for like 4 years, 5 years.
They escaped that last time they played.
Don't matter. They still won the game. That's all that matters.
Barely.
Don't matter. They still won the game. Why couldn't the Giants do what the Cardinals did? If the Giants did what the Cardinals did, then that would sway my play.
They ain't have James Conner.
They got Saquon Barkley, which is a good comp.
Yeah.
So, like I said, man, I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't care what kind of mishaps they've been having. The Cardinals ran the ball very well against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants are not going to run the ball that well because we don't have the offensive line to do that. So, with that being said, even though Philly escaped a loss against us 2 weeks ago, they're not going to escape another one this week. I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles to win, lock it up, and get it done. Last time they played in New York, I was at the game. They beat the brakes off us 41-6 or something like that. It was insane. Pissed off I went to that game, actually, because it was cold. I wasted my money, and it was raining. And we got blown out. No shot. But
that was a huge shot.
But I think Philly wins. Tyrod Taylor does give the Giants a better chance to win the game. Obviously, he throws the ball down the field, as you can see. Slayton got behind the defense.
Tyrod Taylor's better than
he takes shots.
Jones.
He's not afraid to take shots. He's protected with the football. Only issue with Tyrod is injury prone. But I just think, our defense really is playing very well. We play very, very well in defense. So that's the only thing that's really going to carry us. But outside of that, man, Philly.
Tyrod Taylor is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones for the New York Giants. But
might be.
Still don't know why they gave him that money. But I'm gonna take the Eagles because they actually have something to play for. The Giants are just really going out here to try and ruin the Eagles' day. Mm-hmm. But what's the point spread on that?
5.
5?
Mm-hmm.
Eagles ain't been that good at covering those spreads lately.
No.
About a month and a half. I will say that. That spread looks very shaky.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they had them at – did they have them double digits last time they played and end up winning by like 2? It was at least 6.
It was 6 last time.
It was at least 6, and they didn't get nowhere near 6. So, yeah, I don't like that point spread, but they trying to win this division.
Last time, 2 weeks ago.
Oh, they did lose by 8?
Yeah.
I thought it was closer than that.
We had a shot it was on the 20-something yard line going and threw a pass into the end zone. We would have had to kick we had to do a 2-point conversion to tie it up.
Okay. Well, still, point shaky on the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to take the Eagles to win the game. Next game on the slate, we have the Seattle Seahawks in another goodie. Another division game versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are a 3-point home dog in this game, okay? Seattle's been a bit of a roller coaster all season.
I blame Geno Smith.
Do you?
I do.
Okay. I feel like I feel like they're just a roller coaster. You know, DK Metcalf wasn't really doing much early on in the season. Think he had the rib injury and shoulder injury was slowing him up. As he kind of progressed and healed, he started getting a lot more targets. He started getting a lot more catches, turning into the DK Metcalf that we know to be very dominant. Mm-hmm. Tyler Lockett shows up some games. Then you also have Jackson Smith and Jigba, who has emerged as a very nice young receiver this season. So for that reason, they're a 3-point favorite. However, the Cardinals don't give a fuck about none of that. They're just one of them teams that just play hard, like every week. They don't care who they playing against. They don't care what the point spread is. They don't care how much of an underdog, how much they outmatch. They come out and they play the same way every week.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I think I kind of want to take the Cardinals in this game.
Whoa, underdog alert.
I kind of want to take the Cardinals to win this game as the dog.
I'm not. I'm taking Seattle.
I'm not.
Seattle just came off of this loss. They think they thought they should have beat Pittsburgh at home. They should have. That damn Seahawks screwed me up this time. I had them in a couple parlays. If they would have won, they would have cashed me out. So I think they bounce back this week. I think they go down there. I think offensively they got a little bit too much for the Cardinals to handle. Hopefully Geno Smith plays very well. I think they could match their physicality as far as the run game goes with K9, Kenneth Walker, and Charbonnet. So
they in the hunt.
I do like Seattle's defense to step up this week. It's going to be I think it's going to be a lower scoring game than what the over is. I think I like the under on this game, but I do think Seattle
47.5.
Yeah.
That is a lot of points.
I do think Seattle gets the dub here on the road. They've been owning the Cardinals as well over the past couple seasons. So I'm going to take Seattle. Bounce back game.
Bounce back game for Seattle. Now, mind you, Seattle has to win and Green Bay has to lose or tie for them to have the best shot at even getting into the playoffs. Right now, they're just on the bubble. And they're not guaranteed a slot. Mm-hmm. The only other scenarios is if they tie. If they lose, they're just completely out. So we're gonna see.
Must win for Seattle.
It's a must win for them.
Must win for Seattle.
Arizona Cardinals don't give a damn no. Last game on the slate. Waiting all day for Sunday night. We got the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. The Bills are a 3-point favorite on the road in this game for all the marbles.
Yep.
The Dolphins are a 3-point underdog, dealing with some injuries. The over and under is 49.5. So they're expecting this to be a shootout, high scoring. As we talked about in our wonderful segment, takeaways, there were some injuries to the Miami Dolphins with Chubb being out, the ACL, done for the season and done for the year. Then you got Xavier Howard having an injury. And then I don't know if Waddle, I would assume that hopefully Waddle is coming back this game.
And Mostert.
It's probably going to be out, though. So the Dolphins are in a very interesting spot. The only thing they really have going for them is they are at home in this game. Honestly, the Bills have been charged up. The defense looked very good, but they were playing against the Patriots, so I'm not giving them that much juice from last week. And the Dolphins played against the Ravens, and got the brakes beat off of them.
They got pummeled, punished.
But that was against a different team. The Bills are not as good as the Ravens, even though they are much better over these past month and a half. The winner wins the division.
Yeah.
Given what's going on with the Dolphins, the Bills might win this game.
I think so.
I think I'm going to pick the Bills to win this game, just given what's going on with the Dolphins. If the Dolphins were healthy, I would easily pick the Dolphins.
Yeah, I like Buffalo, man. Like, I've been riding with Buffalo for about a month now. You know what I'm saying?
He said like it's a long time.
Yeah, no, I mean, throughout this comeback, because they've been winning. They've been stacking wins. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've been riding with them.
You know what I mean? They've been working their way back into the fold. Like I said, they went down early in the season. Josh Allen's playing terrible, and all of a sudden they play Dallas and they get a dub there, and they start winning, and things start rolling, and they compete against Philadelphia, and you know things start to go in their favor. You know what I'm saying? So they're heating up, and I think they had this game circled for about 3 weeks on their schedule, and when it comes to Miami, like I said, Miami is one of those teams. They're a bully. They're going to beat up on teams that aren't good. But when it comes down to talented teams that can compete with you, I think Buffalo is one of those teams. And I think Buffalo is going to do the same thing, similar to what the Ravens did. Punch them in the damn mouth. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a lot of injuries. They're not at full strength.
Just because they're not at full strength.
Yeah, they're not at full strength, man. And that defense hasn't been playing good. And that's pretty much it. You know, they're not healthy, and it's not the right time to be healthy right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I think that's the only thing that really goes against the Dolphins in this spot. So, you know, somehow after a horrendous start to the season, literally losing to the Jets without Aaron Rodgers at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. Somehow they're in a position to still win the division, and they just might do it. So the luck of the cards have fell into the Bills' lap. But with all that being said, that's the last game of the regular season, but we still got to let these folks know.
What we got to let them know?
We got to let them know their best bets.
Best bets, baby. Week 18, best bets.
No more TNF, no more MNF. It's just a couple games on Saturday, all Sunday, college football championship on Monday. So no Monday night football. What's your best bets, man? Let these people know, man.
So last week, man, I'm going to talk about it. Went 2-1, man.
2-1.
The daggone Carolina Panthers screwed me. The Ravens cashed it in. And who else cashed it in? I can't remember who it was. The Ravens cashed it in, and the 49ers cashed it in. Panthers screwed me up. But this week, we're going to go 3-0. The 3 for 3. We're going to go 3-0, 3 for 3.
Okay.
All right. So my first best bet of the week. All right. I'm going to take the Tennessee Titans plus 5.5.
Okay.
Tennessee Titans at home, coming off of a loss, plus 5.5. They're fighting against Jacksonville to not let Jacksonville go to the playoffs. Tennessee is eliminated.
Trying to snatch them down the hill with them.
Yeah, they're trying to bring them down. I think 5.5 points is a little bit too much. Will Levis might not play, but they still have the other quarterback there.
Malik?
No,
not Malik.
What's his damn name?
I can't remember.
God damn, I had it on my tongue. But y'all know who I'm talking about. They still got him. He was a starter before Will Levis got there. And he's good with that offense. So Derrick Henry's still there as well, right? So I'm expecting a pretty good game. I don't expect them to upset them, but I do expect them to win and cover the spread. To cover the spread, 5.5. So that's first one. The next one I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs plus 3. Kansas City Chiefs plus 3. They are playing the LA Chargers. Not sure if they're going to sit Patrick Mahomes or not, or sit some starters. I don't think they should. I think they probably play him for a half or something like that, and that's probably going to be enough to get that cover.
I think Reed going to rest them guys, but I feel you.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs. And then lastly, my last best bet of the week, I'm going to go ahead and take the Washington Redskins to cover 13. That's a risky play. Mm-hmm. But Dallas Cowboys, they on the road. They beat the brakes off of the Commanders. They beat the Commanders at home on Thanksgiving handedly. I think the Commanders, they remember that. They're playing for pride. Hopefully have some pride and compete this game. You know, don't let CD go nuts. Don't let them go bonkers. But the Dallas Cowboys, they are playing.
Defense can't do nothing to stop CD. Okay, is the offense that you hope just stays competitive, which they generally are.
And I'm gonna throw one more in there. Buffalo -3, and that's it.
Buffalo -3. And
that's it. Yeah. So my best bets this week are Tennessee +5.5, Washington +13, Kansas City +3, and a bonus Buffalo -3.
Okay, thank you for that.
What you got, son?
What you got there, son? My best bets, I'm going to go with. First one I'm going to go with is the Cincinnati Bengals over the Browns. I think they want to rest some of those guys, even though the defense has been so good and phenomenal. I just think that the Browns are going to rest up a lot of guys and try to recoup. The scary part about that bet, though, the only thing that kind of makes me on the fence about it a little bit is the fact that the Browns play so well with whoever is in there. Yeah. They've had to do it all season anyway. So it kind of makes it a little bit but I'm going to go with the Bengals in that one as the home team and them resting some starters in all likelihood. Next best bet, I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders over the Broncos.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
The Broncos have been a shit show.
Oh, is it 2.5 too? That's a good point spread.
Yeah, the Broncos are back to their shit show ways.
That's a good one.
So I'm gonna take the Raiders to take them 2.5 points. I think is good. Man, my third one. Now I'm gonna save them. Give me the Packers to take care of business at home, man. In Lambeau against Chicago. I think the Packers they playing for more than the Bears, even though it's a division game. The Bears are used to playing in the cold, clearly. So it can be tough. I understand why it's a 3-point spread, but I think the Packers are playing for something over there. So give me the Packers, man. I roll with those guys.
All right. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. We'll see what happens.
I almost want to substitute the Bengals for the Bills, but it's all good.
That is the additional bonus pick from both of us. The Bills -3.
But it's one more thing.
Hold your horses. Let's not escape just yet.
I mean, every week.
Hey, they were barking last week. Mine were barking last week.
So we gotta tell the folks about the
dog of the week, man. Last week my dog hit, man. It was the Green Bay Packers, took them to win, and they definitely did. This week I'm going against the Green Bay Packers, and I'm taking the Chicago Bears to beat the Green Bay Packers to keep them out of the playoffs, man. Let's go Justin Fields. He's making the case that he should be the quarterback there. That defense has been playing very well over the past couple of weeks. Let's go ahead and take the Chicago Bears as my underdog of the week. What about you?
That's funny. My dog didn't bark last week, but I'm hoping for a different scenario this time, man. I'm gonna go with somebody that I've been going with a lot. So I'm gonna stick beside them.
The Colts.
I gotta go with the Indianapolis Colts, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Colts. They fighting for a spot, and I like a brawler in a brawl, man. I like some backyard brawlers to win a brawl, man. All right, man. It's been a crazy season. But we made it through it. We got this last week. We still gonna be around for the playoffs, man. So we ain't going nowhere. Don't get it twisted. But this regular season has been extremely fun sticking with y'all. It's our first complete year as a channel.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. We still growing. We still building. We got so much more that we want to do.
Man.
But we appreciate everything y'all have done thus far, and we look forward to much more time with y'all, including this NFL playoffs.
Yeah.
I know we didn't talk about it during it. Well, who you got for the college football national championship?
Michigan.
You got Michigan?
Michigan.
I might go watch it.
Michigan.
I might go watch it.
Storyline, man. It's a storyline. Michigan. Michigan was back against the wall. Harbaugh suspended twice in the season.
No, you're right. Michigan.
Storyline,
Michigan.
man. Storyline.
Michigan. You're right.
Storybook.
It's a storybook ending for them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we thought it would be an ending from Alabama, but
it wasn't good enough.
Anyway, man. Y'all stay tuned. Like, share, comment, subscribe, as we said.
Yep.
Playoffs coming up. But hopefully y'all can cash in, as we like to say. Parlays. Making money line plays, man.
Let's hope all our bets pay. You know what I mean?
It's a good time for some dogs to cash.
And Happy New Year, man. Till next time. Next video. Peace.
Peace.